India from colonial legacy to emerging global power. From poverty and dependence to strategic self-reliance, India's transition from aspiration to responsibility. Republic Day 2026. How India's world position changed and why it matters now. On Republic Day today, there's something different in the air. Yes, there will be parades, fighter jets cutting across the sky, and the familiar echo of patriotic songs. But beyond the ceremony, a bigger question quietly waits to be asked. Where does India stand in the world today? 76 years after becoming a republic, India is no longer just a developing nation trying to be heard. It is a country being watched, quoted, and sometimes challenged by global powers, financial markets, and geopolitical crises. Republic Day today is not only about remembering the Constitution, it is about assessing India's position on the global chessboard. Republic Day 2026 feels heavier, not in a negative sense, but in significance. Because this time, India isn't only celebrating its past, it is taking stock of what it has become and what the world now expects from it. In the early decades after independence, India was cautious and fragile. The country was emerging from nearly 2 centuries of colonial rule that had drained its wealth, dismantled its industries, and left deep social scars. Nearly 70% of Indians lived in poverty. Life expectancy was low. Industrial capacity was weak. Food security was uncertain, and droughts frequently pushed the country toward famine. On the global stage, India adopted the policy of non alignment. In a world divided between the United States and the Soviet Union, India chose not to formally align with either bloc. Leaders like Jawaharlal Nehru believed that moral leadership, diplomacy, and peaceful coexistence were the best tools to preserve sovereignty. India was respected for its ideals, but it lacked power. Its economy was small, its military under-equipped, and its global influence largely symbolic. Foreign policy was driven not by ambition, but by caution. The objective was survival with dignity, not dominance. When poverty meant dependence, India's vulnerability was most visible in food security. During the 1950s and 1960s, the country relied heavily on food aid under the US PL 480 program. Grain shipments from abroad became essential to prevent mass hunger. But this aid came with conditions, political pressure, delays, and uncertainty. Food shipments could be slowed or leveraged during diplomatic disagreements. Western media and policymakers often portrayed India as a nation permanently dependent on charity, questioning its agricultural capability and governance capacity. This was not just an economic challenge, it was a psychological one. Hunger limited strategic autonomy. India's foreign policy choices were constrained by the need to keep its population fed. That humiliation left a deep mark on India's political leadership and society. It directly shaped the push for agricultural self sufficiency through the Green Revolution. More importantly, it embedded a national lesson: economic dependence weakens sovereignty. The long road to self reliance. The Green Revolution in the late 1960s and 1970s fundamentally changed India's trajectory. Investments in irrigation, high yield crops, fertilizers, and agricultural policy gradually transformed India from a food deficit country into a food secure one. This transformation did more than independence. It restored confidence. India learned that internal capacity building could alter its position in the world. This lesson would later influence economic reforms, industrial policy, and foreign relations. Self reliance stopped being an abstract idea, it became a strategic necessity. From aid receiver to aid provider. The contrast with today is striking. India is no longer a recipient of global aid, it is an aid provider. Over the past decade, India has supplied humanitarian assistance, disaster relief, and development support to countries across South Asia, Africa, and the Indian Ocean region. During the COVID-19 pandemic, India provided vaccines, medicines, and medical supplies to more than 90 countries under the Vaccine Matri initiative. India has assisted Sri Lanka during economic crisis, Nepal during earthquakes, and Turkey after devastating natural disasters. These actions are not symbolic, they reflect a structural shift. Aid flows reveal power relationships. Countries that give aid shape goodwill, influence stability, and earn trust. India now participates in that role. Now, strategic, assertive, and self aware. Fast forward to Republic Day 2026, and the transformation is unmistakable. India today does not plead, it negotiates. India is the world's fifth largest economy by nominal GDP and among the top three by purchasing power parity. It is central to global conversations on supply chains, digital infrastructure, Indo Pacific security, and climate negotiations. Defense spending has increased steadily. Indigenous manufacturing under Make in India has expanded. India now produces fighter aircraft, naval platforms, and missile systems domestically. Defense exports are rising year after year. India's diplomacy today is not reactive, it is calculated, interest driven, and strategic. The country is no longer a passive observer, it is a balancing power. Strategic autonomy from non alignment to multi alignment. India's foreign policy philosophy has evolved significantly. Non alignment was once about staying away from power blocks. Today, India practices multi alignment, maintaining strong relationships with multiple centers of power simultaneously. India has deepened ties with the United States and Europe while maintaining defense and energy relations with Russia. It engages economically with the Gulf, diplomatically with Africa, and strategically with Southeast Asia. It leads conversations within the global south by engaging advanced economies. This flexibility allows India to disagree without isolation and cooperate without dependency. Strategic autonomy today is not withdrawal, it is leverage. China. From idealism to realism. India's relationship with China captures this shift clearly. Early optimism rooted in shared anti colonial history has given way to realism following repeated border tensions, particularly after 2020. These events forced India to reassess assumptions about long term stability. India responded by accelerating border infrastructure development, strengthening surveillance, and improving military readiness. At the same time, it avoided escalation and kept diplomatic channels open. Partnerships like the Quad with the United States, Japan, and Australia signal deterrence without provocation. This approach reflects strategic maturity, strength without recklessness. Where many news channels are caught up in noise and agendas, Sutra Network stands firmly with facts and truth. We don't chase sensationalism, we show reality. If you believe in honest journalism, join us for truth, for change. And if you have a story that needs to reach the people, click the link below and share it with us. For more information, read our article on this. Link is mentioned in the description.